Free? Go with Navi, come on.
Okay,
make it
sure.
Yeah.
I'll go with Navi. If they defend these towers early on, if they can get the kills before, let's say, a Panda ulti comes out, just get the kill, get one kill, and get out slow. That way, I think it can be enough time for the Medusa.
I feel like Liz forced your hand a little bit there,
Yeah.
but we got a split on the panel either side. Alliance versus Navi, game number 2. Let's get it underway.
Prepare for battle.
Synderen, before we get started, I have to say this is the ugliest Dragon Knight set I have ever seen. It's an absolute abomination. Do you agree?
It's not great.
Thank you, Synderen, for agreeing with me for once. That's going to be the last time this match. I do believe that will occur. Which lineup do you like, Synderen?
What's a surprise? I like them both, actually. I don't think I have a clear favorite in this based on strategy. Both teams have pretty good wave clear. Both teams have good team fight.
Okay.
Both teams have strong timings. I think Alliance have the... It's a little bit similar to what we've seen VP Prodigy play, where they have a couple of tanky heroes and then some... If you swap out one of the supports for a more saving support instead of a stun, it would remind me a bit of Prodigy, who have been playing this like Dragon Knight plus another tanky core. In this game, it's a Brewmaster, you could argue. But it's still obviously Alliance's touch on it with Nico Baby, safe lane Shadow Fiend, always a treat to watch. It's very unique. Like almost no other team ever plays this, but Nico loves that. So Alliance will be looking for very strong mid game, and Navi are a lot of damage about
to
that
Pasha.
later portions. Yeah, lots of
Goodness
damage.
gracious. FNG trying to create some more space.
The battle
Don't think
begins.
they will get this second bounty, but they will secure
2 for 2.
the top river one. Yeah, 2 for 2 overall. So like you said, the SF safe lane, that means the mid matchup is going to be Magical's Medusa versus Limp's DK. How does this matchup go?
I think they both just farm.
Neither of them does any damage, but they're very tanky.
Yeah, Medusa will farm and secure range creeps with Mystic Snake and try to burn Dragon Knight's mana, and Dragon Knight will buy Soul Ring so he can always get Breathe Fire out. And they will not really threaten each other. So I think in the very early stages of the lane phase, Dragon Knight has a bit of an advantage with Breathe Fire skilled. So we might see Limp get a slight advantage here, but then Medusa eventually with a couple of levels pushes out quickly with Split Shot, and then she farms a side camp every time as well. So all in all, we'll probably mostly even out.
What is that?
And then in the bot lane, we have Crystallize on the Monkey King being accompanied by Ilias's Disruptor versus Grimstroke and Brewmaster. Is this
that's a good
how good is
Navi
this
lane
for Monkey?
It's good after level 3. Until level 3, Monkey King is just not a strong safe laner in 2v2s most of the time. Yeah, you get Jingu Mastery up, but it's not powerful enough on level 1, the bonus life shielding 15% time, but once you get it to 30, that's when the heal really starts mattering with your stun. So early on, I think Alliance will be completely fine here. Even playing a melee hero into Monkey doesn't matter that much. If they bite their time on Navi, that lane will be really, really strong for them for sure.
Handskin already forced to use Salve, so in terms of the regen game, Navi definitely ahead in this lane thus far. Off to a decent start with a range creep does get denied. Oh boy.
Radiant's
How
bottom
tilted
tower
can it be?
is
Can
under
it
attack.
keep S4 in place? The Jango does connect on the bounce.
You've just
strike.
achieved first
With
blood.
that proc,
Thanks and have
Done
fun.
actually
Not
dodges the
orthodox,
Inkswell
but
as well
effective.
to add insult to injury. So nice job from Navi in this bot lane.
And you can definitely play this lane without dying at this point. It's possible. But S4 really wanted that deny. And well, he paid for it. So oh wait, he didn't get a deny. Was it Monkey King who got the range creep deny? I was looking at another lane.
There was a denied range creep.
Oh, it was Grim who got it.
Nice
Gotcha.
with
Okay. Yeah. It's a little bit of a balancing act playing against Monkey King always. Like, if you're full HP on Brew in these situations, you're probably fine. If you're down to half or 2/3 against this Disruptor, it can get dangerous. Nice.
Top
Another
lane,
good
by the way.
mischief,
Telekinesis into Hoof Stomp, and Pasha, of course, popped his Retaliate, so dealt a considerable amount of damage to Nico, who will be forced to salve up now. Not exactly the... I mean, if I thought of an old school combo with Centaur, it would be the Shadow Demon pairing, but Telekinesis obviously not too shabby at all.
Rubik's Sent is a beastly lane. It will get interesting though when Shadow Fiend gets level 3, which he got just now, because it ramps up his damage so hard in this lane now. Ogre has a stun and a slow, so connecting 3 raises is not that difficult. When the carry or the core of the lane is a melee, you can easily hit that short range raise on a Fire Blast. And they might actually try right now.
Ooh, the kinetic shield doesn't actually block him in. Jindu Mastery, nice blocks off from Alias. And Boundless Strike again will be enough. Mainswell will die with the dead body of S4. And they're just going to continue on for Handskin. Not able to actually find him though. The tower dealing considerable damage.
That could have worked. They could have maybe got him there, but playing it safe. I don't mind too much. Handskin doesn't have any regen, so now he's kind of just sitting here. He'll try to CS with Stroke of Fate, but if he ever comes close, he can die to a Thunderstrike plus Monkey Stun. So S4 will have to bring him a salve. And they're off to a really rough start bot. I thought they would be doing better than this, to be honest, early on.
Yeah,
But
well,
Crystallize has been owning.
now they're dealing a little bit of damage to Crystallize, but they've expended pretty much everything. So Crystallize is going to eat a tree, and it'll be good to go.
We'll salve him up with Alias, and all he needs to do
Magical forced to salve is actually be canceled by Limp with no mana to speak of, but completely zoning out Magical.
He is destroying him, actually.
22 and 17.
This Dragon Knight? I don't know. We've seen so many Dragon Knights just own in lane.
Top
maybe my
lane,
read on the hero
Cinderman,
is wrong.
Telekinesis, and a hook stomp again. One more right click should do it, and they will find it in the end. It's going to be a
Dyer's
courier
courier
death
has
as
been
well. FNG on the run. Do they have enough to take him out? Negative, but he'll be very bad by it. Hanskin's getting chased in the bottom lane in the meantime. Ilias going to get thunderclapped. Crystallize is here to zone him out.
Hanskin's
Thunderstrike
dead.
again applied to Hanskin. Down.
That was about as close as it gets. I think he got overkilled by like 3 damage on the last tick.
So they are getting completely Alliances getting dumpstered in this bot lane, but mid lane Alliances kind of dumpstering themselves. So
If Dragon Knight was not owning, this would already be looking really bad for Alliance right now. Monkey King, this is the type of game that he can take over with momentum, and Brewmaster plays pretty badly from behind. So... But I still would imagine Magical will get more of a grip here. Like now he's starting to pressure Limp a lot more, and we'll start finding side camps probably, like we mentioned before. A little bit more levels of split shot, make it easy.
His rune was not going to be used to gank him in.
Dyer's middle
Limp did
tower
salve
is
up,
under
so
attack.
he's quite safe now. We'll pop his ult along with the Dragon Tail. Just going to force Magical out of lane for now. See if he hits the tower too, gets a little love tap, negative. Not feeling confident enough. That's a little mango. But other than that, it's pretty much out of mana right now. Does eat it though. So, what can, without a gank, Medusa against DK at this stage now, with the 6-minute room popping up, it's going to be bottom. Limp could get it if he wants, but obviously.
Oh, Hanskin's in trouble. The Ilias just catching him off guard here.
Ink Swell is there, will connect, but he will likely fall off shortly after Jingu. With the Boundless Strike, they just need to
Killing spree.
enhance
Ownage.
again dead. That is the second death on him to go along with the 2 deaths on S4, so 4 deaths overall in that bot
So
lane.
their combined net worth bot lane between Alliance's heroes is 1,400.
Oh, they're gonna get this kill potentially. It's gonna be close. The regen is available to take. Will be
Oh, he got
canceled
hit,
though.
though. Yeah,
That's a big hit right there.
He survived,
Radiant's
but it was a
top tower
big hit.
is under attack.
That
mean,
hit
if he
did
gets
a
that regen
900
fully
damage
gone.
hit, if you think about it. That was 900
is.
damage and 400 mana. That, imagine that as a spell. That would be really good.
And he's forced to bring out a, he's gonna regen up with his passive. It's 3 levels of Dragon's Blood right now. But we'll get a mana pot on the way. Magical's now pushing this lane a bit. Gonna drain even more mana. I forgot I didn't do that anymore.
Looking at the overall gold bottom, Navi's lane is 1,000 gold ahead. Alliance's combined gold is 2,600, and theirs is actually 4.7k.
Dyer's
But
middle tower
You
is
can't
under
stop
attack.
because S4 might be dying again in this bot lane. 3 stacks
I'm
of
looking
Jin.
at it.
Crystallize, Boundless Strike. Does proc it, level 6 right now. S4
dead.
attempting to get out of
A
the
dominating
dodge, but the telekinesis keeps him in
performance.
tow. And not only dead for a 3rd time, but no TP to get back to lane. That hurts.
He's level 4, almost 5. Crystallize is halfway to level 7.
So if we remember, Cinder, in last game, he died a bunch on Beastmaster and ended up doing just fine. Not quite the same. This is worse.
Yeah, this
than
is worse.
before.
It's definitely worse, and there's a key difference in this game in the inability to rotate, right? Last game they had a Queen of Pain bail them out of jail, if you will, in that lane quickly. This time around, you have a Dragon Knight. It's
Radiant's
just not the same
top
thing.
tower is under
If Dragon
attack.
Knight rotates bot, he doesn't necessarily have the burst to kill off the Monkey King. If Monkey has Jingu's running, I don't think they kill him with 3 heroes. So you need to execute it much more crisp to make it work. And Limp kind of wants to push mid anyway, rather than go ganking. So.
Hanskin getting chased by Disruptor, but Limp pops the Dragon form, applying a little pressure to Rubik. FNG's going to get caught off guard though. Was pressuring Medusa in the jungle a little bit. Limp is going to get that well as they're completely surrounding him. We'll see if he's tanking enough. Jingu mastering with the Boundless Strike finally does proc. Not sure they'll have enough though, as Limp will fly away to safety.
Space for S4, finally. He gets to play his hero a bit. I mean, you gotta wonder why S4 did not get at least 1 point in Drunken Baller, right? Like, to me, that's really surprising. You're laning against Monkey King. You have a spell that gives you 50% dodge for 5 seconds. That ruins Monkey King if he doesn't hit you and build up Jingus, but just fully obsessing over getting this high damage build for his turn stroke.
Nico baby being forced out of the river as Chris Slight will pick Jingu up. He's gonna apply more pressure to FNG now. My God.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dragon's Blood is there though. Crystallize. It's going to be very low, but the SF will be the first to fall after the fact. And Crystallize now attempting to run away. Dragon Tail is up in 1 second. Balance Strike keeping him in place.
Oh, God, Alliance are getting owned.
Limp is gone. 3.
They're getting so
nothing.
owned.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Say it louder. Okay. Thanks for joining us, Cinder. Limp. That's so quiet.
You don't own me.
Why is it so quiet?
I have my own thought.
We have a 10-minute mark, and this time it's an outpost for each respective side. The streak has ended. It feels like the last few games we've
Dire's
cast has
middle
been
tower is under
one
attack.
team just dominating the outposts every single game. So that means level 6 is all around,
Radiant's
except for
bottom
FNG,
tower
who's
is
level
under
4 right
attack.
now, I assume. And hope that the tome will come to him.
Dire's top
Hanskin's pretty
tower
greedy.
is under attack.
Not sure if he took it.
I think he might have taken it already. I'm not sure. It's very coming out.
Radiant's
Right.
middle tower is
Flare,
under attack.
Telekinesis keeps S4 at bay, but pretty much the
That's a
entirety of
good
the line
steal.
here in this
Bloodlust for Medusa and Monkey King stolen by the Rubik.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Split out Soulbind onto 2. Looks like the Swell is going to be the first to fall in this engagement.
Radiant's
Swell will
middle
connect
tower
onto
is under attack.
Crystallize. He's now basically at half
Dire's
HP.
top tower is under attack.
Fireballs connect into the dragon. So many stuns, and down goes the monkey.
Radiant's middle
Alliance
tower
losing
is
fight
under
after
attack.
fight after fight. The primal split stolen by
Radiant's
Slayer. See
middle
if he can do
tower
anything
has
with
fallen.
it. Tier 1 tower will go down. But so far, Alliance has won
Dire's
this fight
structures
handily.
are fortified.
Hanskin and company are
Dire's
still here
top
for
tower is under
support
attack.
here on the Dragon Knight. And yeah, the primal split, not able to really get anything out of it.
This whole thing actually got set up by a key mistake from Ilias. He didn't have enough mana for Static Storm. He didn't pop his stick in time, and then the split came out. I think they were trying to catch S4 in kinetic
Dire's
static,
top
but
tower is under attack.
didn't account for his lack of mana there, I do believe. And obviously, Brewmaster just dies there if he gets Static Storm. He'll have no fight whatsoever, and they're gonna defend their tower easily and maybe even get bonus kills. So that was a really big deal for Alliance. They finally get something going their way. It's still a bit of a mountain
Radiant's
to climb. You
bottom
lost the
tower
early
is
game
under
against a
attack.
lineup that has Medusa and Monkey King.
Dire's top tower
But
is under
it's
attack.
the first of many moves that they need to truly bring this game back to even.
Yep, still a 3k deficit for them. We can get a little bit of an item update here. Pasha finishes his Vanguard. We'll be going towards Blink now. Magical about to finish his Yasha. So first item, Manta, not too big of a surprise. Where would you like him to go after Manta?
Radiant are scanning.
Probably Butterfly, straight away.
Okay.
And then Rapier. I think so, maybe. I
Third
mean, we'll
item,
see.
Rapier.
We'll see if it's that kind of game for him right now. But it definitely seems like a great Butterfly game. It's good against Dragon Knight. It's good against Shadow Fiend to an extent. I mean, there's also something good to be said about Scotty, because to an extent, Alliance are very spell heavy in their lineup. It's not
Dire's top
that
tower
right
is
click
under
heavy
attack.
yet. Shadow Fiend will go a carrier build, obviously, because he's safe lane.
Dire's
In this
top
game, they
tower
need his
has
physical
fallen.
damage, but I like
Radiant's
Scotty or
bottom
Butter the
tower
most,
is
I
under
think.
attack.
Scotty's better now against DK in theory because of
Yeah,
that health regen from his
absolutely.
passive.
It's not. It's generally not going to win you a fight that he heals 4 less per second from Dragon Blood, but
Synderen is huge, especially when he gets level 25, which will have
oh,
to.
Alliance better be ready here. Good position from FNG.
Dire
Heavy damage
structures are
there.
fortified.
Like, it's going to be the stampede into the disruptor ult, and down goes Brew. You talked about how they needed that to take down the Brew to prevent the primal split. As Limp gets glimpsed of Wukong's command, but there's the Shadow Fiend ult, doing heavy damage. Soulbind on to 2 now. FNG not able to get off the stun after the fact, and Limp and company have to get out of dodge. Magical with the stone gaze, not able to turn anybody into actual stone this time around. Nico Baby has no mana at all. I'm wondering how they actually re-engage here, which looks like they kind of want to do. Maybe just try to tick down this tier 1, as Limp is quite healthy.
Radiant structures
This is a
are
really good read
fortified.
from Alliance to finish this tower off. You
Radiant's
might be a bit
bottom
intimidated
tower is
because
under
you're 3 on
attack.
4 down here, or you were. But knowing that all these big abilities are in cooldown from Navi, from Medusa
Radiant's
and
bottom tower has
Disruptor,
fallen.
you feel confident that Dragon Knight is very tanky here and can finish off that tower with Isif on backup. So that was a very good read, and important again for them to open up the map even further. I do wonder. So compared to other Alliance games, who are you going to have playing
Radiant's
the
bottom
difficult
tower
lane on the
is under
map? Like
attack.
who is difficult to kill for Navi with their glimpse? There's no like hero with superb mobility or escape on Alliance, so to speak. Dragon Knight may be tanky, but he will definitely die if he gets 3-man ganked by this Radiant side, or 2-man ganked even by Monkey King Disruptor. I think they could kill him. Gotta be a little
Radiant's
bit wise
bottom
about how you
tower
spread
is
your
under
resources.
attack.
Where in more of the games I've seen against Navi, there's been better wave clearing in the enemy team than there is in this game, or more safely, I would say. Like Shadowfiend wave clearing is dangerous, man. Dying on that hero sucks.
Yeah,
So
takes forever to get your souls back, and he's already squishy for a good portion of the game. Alliance have smoked up now. Limp with the blink dagger. Not sure. Has this been revealed yet? Was that in the last fight? I'm not sure. I guess no. They let the courier live. He's to Limp. Not able to find anybody. But they're going to jump in onto Pasha with the dragon. Silence is there as well. And it looks like Primal Split expended. That's a little bit surprising. Perhaps trying to zone out, assuming that the rest of Navi will come to help, but that is not the case.
that is space, though. That is some serious space. They used Primal Split Dragon form, and it took them like 20 seconds.
All right, he did find somebody technically, Cinder, in bottom lane. Rubik, just as the Broodling was about to expire, did get lifted. FNG
Dire's
needs the vision
top
for the
tower
Fire Blast.
is under attack.
Yeah, Slayer's gonna get canceled. The multi has fallen. He could maybe not really looking to follow this up at all. So maybe he just walked away anyway.
He uses
What
him
in
to
the
make the
world?
path. How nice.
That was so weird. Nico Baby's like, I'm farming this camp. I don't care if it's the free kill. Not interested.
It is dangerous for Shadowfiend to show his face, but he can get TP glimpsed. He knows how important his life is right now. He needs to get BKB. There comes Magical.
From Alliance is getting pounded upon. And Magical does have the Manta Sword.
they glimpse this, that is-
SF the hell out of here, and with that, Alliance probably gives us up. S4, they know that he doesn't have problems.
Dire's middle tower has
A
fallen.
lot of damage being done to Pasha. He's actually going to jump in, does Limp, with a static storm to follow inside the Wukong's command. Limp taking heavy damage, and he gets melted. Not even close. Perhaps thought he was tankier than he actually is. FNG now getting spotted. Boundless Strike keeps him in place. Telekinesis to follow, and that is a second kill for Navi. Alliance are just going to have to run now.
Yeah, I mean, we just call a spade there, right? That kill was not happening. His team was not in range to get the Centaur. He's obviously going to be jumping into enemy heroes there. Like, any sort of save will kill the Dragon Knight there, whether it's Static Storm, Kinetic Field, or just a Rubik Lift, or Monkey King Stun. Like, there's too many problems for Limp to execute that kill. And maybe a little bit of miscommunication. Alliance, he maybe thought he had some backup closer by. But obviously, he is the only one on his team with a Blink Dagger. And they couldn't get there. This game looks really grim for Alliance right now, you gotta say. Like, they just lost their mid tower as well. 6k gold lead against the Medusa. This Radiant lineup scales like crazy into late game. Medusa, Monkey, and Centaur, all three
Dire's
phenomenal
top
late game
tower
heroes.
is under attack.
Yeah.
Disruptor. Whenever you get ahead in a fight right now in this mid-game portion, when there's no BKBs up, you get bonus kills. You can always get the vision with Stampede or Monkey jumping to trees. There's so many good things about Navi's strategy right now that are really coming together.
Yeah, for sure. But Alliance, on the other hand, not so hot as a result.
Really not, no.
Yeah.
Not this game.
S4, I mean, he just finished Helm of the Dominator. He's quite poor. About 1,600 difference between him and the Centaur right now, who just finished his Blink Dagger, so not only tanky will have the initiation factor now. I'm just wondering, like, at what point does, like, what kind of itemization is S4 looking for this game? Is it just the aura type of game, like the Vlads, or maybe it's too late for drums, but AC is maybe too far away?
On who did you say?
On the Brewmaster. Do you go for like a blink? Like, do you need the extra initiation? Because you already have the blink on the Dragonite, so I assume that's not something you go for.
I think he has to just buy auras and hope Shadow Fiend and DK get the job done. I don't think there's anything like S4 is never going to get a Radiance in this game at a good timing, and I don't think the dagger matters that much. Like whether he gets a clap off before the split or not, and even if he does, it's not like a oh boy.
Dominating, I guess.
Left, right, and center to the right of that. Nico Baby able to get out the Reckoning of Souls, but it glimpse back into
Killing spree.
command.
Hello,
And that is
this
a
is
double
Gabe
kill for
Newell.
Crystallize and
Thanks
3
for
kills
playing Dota
overall
2.
for Navi.
Double kill.
Damn.
This is snowballing out of control, as Navi is just winning every single engagement.
What I was going to say about the Brew Dagger, you're kind of seeing it here as well, is if Brew goes in and needs to do anything before splitting, he's just susceptible to so many things this game. He can get Monkey Stun from a tree, he can get lifted by Rubik, he can get Static Stormed. If any of these things happen, he can even get Blink Stun by Centaur.
Has been killed.
If any of these things happen, you're dead. Like, even if you have a dagger and you blink in first, there's instant counterplays.
Trying to defend this, yeah. Roche is only at half HP. They don't have the greatest Roche taking capability again. Alliance on the hand.
BKB
That should help.
against Brewmaster, but maybe it's. I know this is what you usually used to do on Medusa against Brewmaster, because Brew loves playing against Dusa, just cycloning him 2 times every fight. The hero is very immobile. It's very easy to get on top of and get that done. And usually the enemy strategy is built around fighting in like a concentrated area where Medusa just gets to hit and Brew can counterplay that. But just given how this game has gone so far, I don't know if Magical actually needs to go this route at all. Could go for something more damage heavy. But I mean, it's solid still, for sure.
I mean, from a general standpoint, would you consider going BKB now what's the best way to put this? Does it help you extend your lead, or does it just help you survive fights? Is it a combination of the two? Like, if you go damage right now, can they kill you? Because right now it feels like they're a decent amount ahead that he's not going to be dying in a fight.
See, that's what I think too. I feel like killing Medusa right now for the Dire is almost impossible. Like, there are so many things that need to go right. So yeah, it's part of the reason I would like to see a Butter or a Scotty here. It's just like more ramp up, right? It's faster farming. BKB is a terrible farming item. It always has been. It's the only reason the item isn't broken.
I mean, it is broken, let's be real. Something that's bought almost every game is basically broken.
Imagine that item was not in the game, how broken some heroes would be, though.
Yep.
No, you would have to rebuild the entire hero roster if BKB wasn't an item. Yeah.
Wand is broken, by the way. Basically, everybody picks it up.
Is that your metric for an item being broken? That everybody buys it? Because then Boots of Speed are broken.
Yeah, Boots of Speed are very broken, Cinder.
Okay.
Very broken.
I did play with a Storm yesterday who never bought Boots in my 45-minute game. So maybe they're not that broken. I'm not salty at all.
You can win without Boots. This is true.
We lost.
Play Weaver
and
as
we
well.
probably would have won if he had Treads. So...
Okay, shout out to that idiot in Cinder. Blasted now.
Radiant's top tower.
Good luck playing another game without somebody blasting you back.
I avoided him.
The question is, did you avoid? So the way that your avoid list works doesn't really. I don't get it. You roll over, right? So eventually they get off your list because there's only so many people you can have. Right? but you can't keep. Do you keep track of who they are? Like, can you remove people individually? I don't remember what's in the.
Yes,
actual
you can
menu.
go and cancel people out.
But you don't do that.
Anytime.
You just let it roll over.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it's
if
like
I've
a
ever-
prison sentence, right? You just let them do their time. Can't play with you
yeah.
again. Such a pleasure and an honor to play with the great Syndra. As FNG is going to get stomped into the double edge, and that's a free kill.
Mega kill.
Drops in, static storm onto two. The soul bind is used to counteract this. The glimpse now onto the brewmaster, and you just about to get primal split off. But not to be, my friend. Another death for poor S4. That is number 6 on his record.
Okay,
Nico baby, right from the tree. Massive buys back into the game. The primal split available. Buyback out of the Lubick now. Senta was the first to fall. Magical. Nice timing. BKB destroying.
They're unstoppable.
From every single side. It's going to focus onto Nico baby now. He gets
Dominating
hit by
performance.
Looks like he'll
Double
find
kill.
Crystallize in the end. So a double kill from Nico. Handskin. Oh my god, Slayer takes him out with ease. The stolen stroke of fate. S4's primal split has now ended and will scurry away on those panda feet.
All things considered, that was not that bad for Alliance. Nico came up big from the tree line there. They were not expecting that Requiem at all, so a bit of a surprise play. But the advantage too big, and the Medusa BKB definitely came in handy that time. Hard to say how that goes without the BKB. Maybe Alliance can come back a little bit there, but yeah. Buybacks from each
You
side.
expecting the big fights?
The Brew buyback, though, is pretty big. If this guy gets killed by Navi, without a buyback split, they have so little control in the upcoming fight. And S4 seems to just be getting caught in static storm every single fight in this game. It's hard for him to play around it, really.
Yeah.
I need to revise his positioning entirely and just accept that he can't use any other spell than ult in these fights. Like, just start way behind and let Dragon Knight set him up.
I mean, is there any even though he's not farming anything anytime soon, is there consideration for something like a BKB, or is the fact that you can't blink in, like if you had a blink BKB, that would make a lot of sense, right? You could wreak havoc with your normal spells and then ult as the BKB is about to run out, but is he BKB walking in? Like, what do you do? He just ult from a distance.
It's not great, yeah.
Very weird. Telekinesis.
This is a big kill.
SF gets destroyed. They have such good catch on Navi. They're finding people constantly.
It was just a matter of time before Nico would get caught pushing waves.
Dire's
Like,
middle
it
tower
will
is under
happen
attack.
eventually. It's really, really hard to avoid in a game like this. Against this much catch, you need to play the perfect game to not get caught a single time. And this is a big one because no buyback. Even if he did, he wouldn't have souls. And this rush should be pretty much guaranteed for Navi unless Alliance pull off some sort of miracle defense, but they can't do it. It's just no way.
Yeah, there's not much they can do, so they're just going to farm and push out the side lanes.
Radiant's
as
top
much as
tower
possible.
is under attack.
And Aegis.
Fallen
They
to the
got
Radiant.
crushed last game with all of the Roshan killers, and they're now returning the favor on Alliance. Although, like we talked about, they don't have the greatest Rosh taking team yet until Medusa gets a lot of damage. But when they're able to take a fight, and you're right, like SF buyback does nothing. One of the worst buyback heroes in the game, as we said before. What is S4 working on? Oh, he just finished Treads. That's all his income right now. Super rough. Stuck in the jungle now.
Heard my comment about the storm. He was like, okay, I guess you need shreds to win.
Wait, I thought you said Storm didn't have boots in general.
Yeah, like he didn't have boots either.
Yeah. What a piece of shit.
I like you, Suns fan. You didn't even experience it, but you're just automatically on my side.
Man,
I appreciate
every
that.
time I see a post on Reddit about fountain diving, I get triggered. I'm not gonna lie. That's my biggest pet
You
peeve
just
right
want to
now.
support your buddies.
I hate fountain diving. God, it's the worst. Fountain camping is even better way to describe it. Magical, working towards a divine rapier, has the sacred relic now. S4, looking to initiate, and by initiate I mean walk in and use his ult. Alias, of course, great positioning so far this game with the static storm. Able to get that off pretty much every single time. Nico Baby is sitting on the 9-second BKB now. Has an S and Y, so the extra stats resistance to come into play here. For the stuns that Navi do have.
Alliance are just in this awkward spot here where they have pretty good vision about what's happening, but they can't ever open on Medusa. It's actually, I feel like the fight is impossible to win. If you open on Medusa, it's just a death sentence for your whole team. So whenever Deuce is the one pushing the wave, you just gotta sit there and watch and hope the enemy team tries to initiate on you and you get to get a better target, or you
Dire's
split
top
out on the
tower
map and don't
is
do
under
anything at all
attack.
there. And in the end, Navi will
Dire's
give up a bit of
structures
position
are
mid, but they're
fortified.
doing it for their own gain. They're getting
Radiant
the top
structures
tower,
are
and
fortified.
the Lions look to be too slow
Dire's
to get a
top
response
tower is
tower
under
bottom.
attack.
And I love this
Not
too.
even
Like,
close.
actually, they're kind of over protecting top. I think they don't need this many. Yep, this is
Dire's
exactly what
top
could
tower
happen.
is
The guy
falling.
who needs the protection is now alone. Like Dusa could stand top solo. They're not going to go on her.
Ooh, they're
so
not
they
going
could have
any
covered
further, though.
Crystallized mid, but
Radiant's
if there's
bottom
one
tower
extra hero
is
from
under
Alliance in the
attack.
mid area, Crystallized Die is killing that wave, and that would have been
There's
terrible.
no reason they can't continue. They know Dragon
Dire's
Dragon Knight's
top
ult has
tower
been
is
expended.
under attack.
Still has a decent amount of
Radiant's
duration
bottom
left.
tower
But with
is
the
under
Aegis
attack.
intact for Magical, dealing a lot of damage with the Sacred Relic, and still has the 9-second BKB now. They really need this kill. He gets silenced after the fact, but pops the Ghost Scepter. And as a result, at least for now, the Panda goes off and finally gets that pesky
Twice the
Back in
ogre.
the game, along with the Ogre
Try
Magi,
half the
crystallized,
challenge.
jumps onto a tree. Limp is gonna stun him with the Ink Sword, but it doesn't have vision.
Oh, I didn't cut it. He cut it too late.
Quite cut it. Crystallized tops the one. Now at half HP, Skullbind onto 2. Crystallized gonna take the brunt of the damage.
That was unreal. Double
Inside
kill.
the Static Storm and take out the Ogre Magi with these. That is a dieback for him as Nico Baby
Dire's
forced to
top
retreat
tower
with the
is
BKB
under attack.
activated, and still an Aegis on the Medusa, so they haven't lost him yet. As for Tuxon into a glimpse, and will likely be the second casualty here.
Monster kill.
Alliance, if you want to count the Ogre Magi, died twice.
You lasted this
There is gold
long.
for Rapier non-magical. He still has Aegis for another minute, and it's already flying out. This is high ground time for them. No split, no SFO, no Dragon Knight form. This top Rax is dead. More than likely, he just goes for it with Disruptor and Centaur covering him, and that's good enough. And you
Dire's
see the
top
ping coming
tower
out from
is
Nico's
under
like, this
attack.
guy has a Rapier, so now he deals triple damage of before almost.
Dire's top tower
And here we
has
go.
fallen.
Triples a lot. Be pounding upon the racks, and like you said, we'll likely just have to give this up without any sort of mounted defense.
Dire's top
Brewmaster
barracks
still dead
has
for another 30
fallen.
seconds. Is going a blink
Dire's
dagger.
top barracks
by the way.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
So now that we've talked about that item a bit potentially, do you think it's the right choice? You basically said no before.
I still
Can't
think
get
you should
it.
probably buy Vlad's.
Like blinking in, you can still get silenced. And then you feel even worse because you're putting yourself in horrible position.
Radiant
I think what
are
he wants to do is
scanning.
blink behind the enemy team and use split instantly and not use clap at all. Like, I don't think you cast your other spells in this game.
That feels so bad.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to use any spell but
does
R. Unbind your hotkeys
Happens
now,
with
please.
Brewmaster surprisingly many games though that he gets caught in that predicament where you kind of only your ult in many games.
Yep. Well, Aegis is
They
now
know
gone.
Aegis is down. Navi Alliance, they really want this fight. This is their chance at coming back
Yeah.
in the game. Is somehow taking a fight where they kill a couple of enemy supports. Disruptor doesn't have buyback. Rubik actually doesn't either. He does soon though.
Bounty.
But if they could open up on the supports and kite the Dusa and the Killer last, that
It's the bounty run. Nico with a huge Requiem of Soul. This is going to be great. Going the way of Alliance. Are you serious? Nico Baby picks it up. Unbelievable that he would put himself in that position. Crystallizes the BKB pop is now going to get initiated on, but the Ink
Killing
not going to do
spree.
anything to the BKB.
no,
They can't even get
the
boundless
third
strike off
wave.
as Alliance has now turned this game off of one mistake.
Dominating,
From
I
Navi.
guess. Double
Holy
kill.
Jesus.
he felt invincible. It's like my
Yeah.
team is behind me. I have BKB, but Alliance get the perfect Ink Swell plus Dragon Tail combo. They BKB Requiem full damage.
Radiant's middle
Everything
tower
lands.
is under attack.
And that's what happens. You don't have a full-on save. You don't have like an Oracle or a Disruption or something like that. And you have an Age of Rapier. There's no Aegis protecting.
Radiant's middle tower
They
has
can't get
fallen.
megas. They'd have to go for throne, which they're actually going to attempt to. Medusa is up in 20 seconds, does have buyback.
Radiant's middle barracks
Is
are
available,
under
but no one can
attack.
get to 10.
Dire's
Disruptor is
middle
obviously the
tower
big
is
one,
under
down to
Radiant's
40.
middle
No
barracks
buyback
has fallen.
whatsoever. They might have to just be happy
Radiant's
with this
middle
mid-rack
barracks
syndrome.
has fallen.
But still.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And he bought back. I didn't even realize. Oh, man.
Graph, dude. Oh,
Didn't he have like 10 seconds left on buyback? I guess he did it as they were taking the tier 4s.
Magical's got to be feeling
Dire's
so bad.
courier
Like
has
last
been
game, he
killed.
has this death in the middle of the map as
Dire's bottom tower
the Void
is under
Spirit. I think
attack.
that one was probably less impactful, and they were likely to lose that game anyway. But this one, this is a big one to lose.
Cinder, if I
Not
learned
sure it's his
anything,
call,
Dire's
bro. Like, we
bottom
can only
tower has
speculate.
fallen.
There's- Maybe they're like, you can go and take this rune. We got you, bro. Don't worry. Like,
Cinder,
whoever makes this
if
call,
I've
man.
learned anything in my 15 years of playing Dota 2 or Dota in general, it's that you can always blame your fucking teammates, okay? Just remember that. It's always their fault. It does not matter the context at all. There's always an excuse to be had.
Last game when Magical died in the middle of the map, it's because his team weren't there and hadn't placed 3 wards before.
Yes.
Yes.
He's teaching them a lesson by
This
dying.
game,
I've been there.
guys, I
I've been
only
in those
died on the rune because you didn't pick Shadow Demon for this situation.
As they're sitting on a 10k net worth lead at the time. Oh, the smoke behind Magical. I guess he's going for another rapier. I mean, what else can he do?
Yeah, he has to.
Ooh. God,
This is rough.
lady.
Like you gotta find a way of killing the Shadow Fiend, but the big difference here is you don't have the same amount of hard lockdown, or rather, the Shadow Fiend has a Satanic and Shanzuyasha, so all of your stuns last half duration. And if he just gets the Satanic off, you don't have him
Dire's
with a spell
middle
for
tower
it. So
is
he's gonna
under
hit
attack.
twice and be full HP, or even once with Rapier. Oh man,
Radiant are
I
scanning.
feel so sorry for Navi, man. That
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Trying to
attack.
find a DK that's exactly the target he wants since he's so tanky. Requiem of Souls, I believe that was
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mega kill.
Dire's
his
turret has been
ultimate.
killed.
Holy jeez. Doing a decent job of this Soulbind onto 2. Along with the silence to follow, Alliance should try and face their time.
They're
here.
unstoppable.
Jump in
Double
front of
kill.
them. And this is the beginning of the end for Navi. As Magical pops his
Dire's
BKB
middle
back
tower
shortly
is under
after. I would
attack.
not. Yeah, I was going to say.
That
GG
was,
to
as they
follow.
say,
Wicked
impossible
Wicked
to say.
just completely handed this game to Alliance. Oh my god.
Alliance. Victory.